Right, let's get some analysis and bring in Tony Shaffer, who joins us from Northern Virginia. He is the president of the London Center for Policy Research, which looks at key policy issues such as national security, energy, and risk analysis. Tony, thanks so much for your time for TRT World. I do want to talk about this final sprint that was so busy for both candidates. I mean, Trump hitting 5 swing states. He's currently in Florida. In the meantime, Biden in Pennsylvania. Can they change anything at this point?
Yes, absolutely. The momentum is based on turnout at this. Typically, the Republicans vote the day of the election, and especially with the pandemic, there's been a lot of changes, a lot of disruption in normal pattern. And I'll just tell you, it's a political issue. Most conservatives are not afraid of going out and being in the open. The Democrats have been convinced that COVID is dangerous to the point of where they shouldn't go out. So that's why they were encouraged initially to vote by mail or absentee. And so the momentum so far appears to be, frankly, going very well for the president. In Florida, early returns are showing that the Latino and Black community are supporting the president more than expected. And in many of these states, the day of voting will significantly favor the president. So it's going to be a very interesting 48 hours, I might say, to see how things really do turn out on Tuesday.
Right, and Trump is due to hit another 5 states on Monday. He's really not wasting time. He loves campaigning. He's using every single second. Tony, you are also a national security advisor on the Trump 2020 campaign. What kind of policies did the Trump team promise in this election cycle when it comes to foreign policy and security? And how different is his approach than the one he had in 2016?
3 points. First, if you decide to use the military, let it win. That's clearly evident from the defeat of ISIS in Iraq, in the caliphate. ISIS is not gone, but it's greatly diminished, and that's significant, and we've seen the results of that in a positive way. Secondly, ending wars and trying to bring peace. As you know, he's been instrumental. Mike Pompeo, State Department, has been instrumental in essentially establishing the Trump doctrine of trying very hard to lead with the diplomacy. We, the London Center, were part of the original thinking on that. I was actually meeting with Mike Pompeo when he was over at CIA on this issue. So we're very happy with the results on that. And third, border security. He's worked very hard to secure the southwest border and bring additional focus to protecting the citizens from foreign threats. So those are the 3 areas which he's been very effective. And it's one of those things that the absence of terror attacks here in the United States over the past few years has been unnoticed by the fact that there's no attacks, and that's good news. So a lot of us are very happy with the way the president has implemented his national security strategy.
Right. Do you think, Tony, that in this election cycle, Trump focused more on reopening economy and jobs and less than on the foreign policy? In 2016, he was all about, building the wall in Mexico. But it seems different this year. He's focusing more on domestic issues.
No doubt. And the results of his focus over the summer was record growth of our gross national product, 33% growth. That's record. It's never been done before. And I work with my colleague, Steve Moore, one of President Trump's advisors, one of my fellow advisors on the Trump advisory board. And I can tell you that they've reduced regulations. They plan on continuing to increase stimulus to certain sectors to make sure that jobs are protected. And I would see near record growth again in the 4th quarter of this year. So I think that's the basic strategy. Let business do business and try to build wealth and success for everyone. And I think President Trump and his team will continue to do things to open the economy safely. No one says COVID is harmless. With that said, science has said you can open schools, you can open businesses, and it's time for America to be open and let people do their job.
Okay, Tony Shaffer, I do appreciate that insight for us here at TRT World. He is the president of the London Center for Policy Research.